everybody. Nostalgia Goggles for 3 here. So we had some technical difficulties as usual. I took a Windows update as a result of restarting that I didn't really want to take, and it seems to have messed some stuff up with OBS. So I will be spending the weekend playing with that a little bit. But for tonight, we do appear to be up and running. There are the Jazz running right now. Let's get into it. Hope everything holds out. You're all doing well out there. November 18th, 1995. These cans are fun. Alright, so we are taking on the Washington Bullets, not the Wizards. Let's see how they're doing. 6-2, pretty good. Real life, this team was about 500, just barely didn't make the playoffs, and but they had a really difficult schedule that year, probably more so than most other teams. Probably a little bit better than their record indicates. Indeed, that seems to be the case here tonight. Let's check our leaders, of course, and then see if anybody from Washington's going to give us anything to look out for in particular. My mini scouting report. Team has a few big names on it. We have Mark Price toward the end of his career, and Chris Webber toward the beginning of his. Glad we don't have to face either of them in their prime. So, one thing I was going to do, responding to a challenge from Spitz the Great from last night, asked me to get a triple-double, or try to get a triple-double. I did not quite succeed. I got a double-double with Tracy Murray, but didn't get that third category. Now, there's 5 statistical categories that they track that are positive for players in this game. Points, assists, which were the 2 that I'd gotten there, and then rebounds, blocks, and steals. I wasn't even close, even with trying in all 3 categories with that. So I'm not entirely sure in 8-minute quarters on this difficulty level how possible that even is, at least for given my player's rating. So what I'm going to do instead tonight, doing something that is possible on paper, although highly unlikely to pull off, I'm going to attempt to get a triple-double, or not a triple-double, a double-double, points and assists for my entire starting 5. That's crazy, you may say. I'm just crazy enough to try it. So first of all, I'm going to check out the passing ratings here, and from my starting 5 accordingly. I think I'm actually going to have Miller start instead of Earl. And Pinckney instead of Rogers. I mean, Pinckney would have to start anyway. He had a career game, 16 points, including 2 3-point shots, including 1 the entire length of the court. It's terrific. If you missed it, the replays are available on Twitch. I'll put them up on YouTube in the near future. All right, here it is. My starting 5, going for double-doubles all the way around. Speaking of 10, 10% of any proceeds from tonight's stream, as usual, go to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. Some great work, ocular research, visioning a world without goggles someday. As I open my drink. Without further ado, let's get into it. If anyone's hanging out, please feel free to say hi in the chat. I can't see you if you don't. There we go. New arcade stick working out well, other than a sticky start button. Landover, Maryland. So originally they were the Baltimore Bullets, which I assume is why they picked that name for the alliteration. All right. Looks like we are not going to get rebounds over them. Besides Chris Webber, this team also has George Mirasan, 7'7". Not a big surprise. Road game. Dale Ellis. He will be my player lock player for the evening. L Train, Lionel Simmons. Ed Pinkney. See if he can keep the hot hand. And real life Raptor, Big O, Oliver Miller. And Bullets are starting Robert Pack at the point. Calvert Cheney. Chris Webber we just talked about. Juwan Howard. And George Mirasan, who doesn't look a foot taller than Oliver Miller, even though he definitely is. Who am I? Oh, Miller. So, set strategy. First of all, as with all games, I need to remind my folks to play defense. Put defensive switch on. Let's do this. Hey, Spitz, great. Thanks for turning up. If you're just getting here, I've decided I gave some thought to your challenge from last night. The goal tonight is to get a double-double for my entire starting five. Stoudemire, Ellis, Simmons, Pinkney, Oliver Miller. So that's what we're shooting for. Hi, my wife is here for the first time. She says hi. Hello. Thanks for joining. First. Nice. Oh, come on. We got to get it to Ellis so we can get the player lock on. All right. Mirasan. How am I supposed to get double doubles for everybody? Those for goggles. So thank you. Much obliged. Oh, that didn't work. All right, get it back. The goggles aren't just for show. Actual real life prescription. Just like Horace Grant. At least at the beginning of his career. Grant actually had LASIK and continued wearing the goggles because I guess he got a lot of fans who, like little kids who were wearing goggles and self-conscious about it, who felt better because of him. So, good guy, Horace Grant. All right. Charging. Come on, ref. Oh. That's no good. Can't let him do that. Right. Pinkney for three. No. Man. These guys are fearless in driving. This might prove to be an issue. Oh, come on. All right. Need my airball emoji. Pinkney needs a full court shot to get going. That is possibly a true statement. Wow. I don't know what's happening. I have not hit the rim with my last two shots. This is bad. This is bad, Spitz the Great. Oh no, Juwan Howard. Yes. The old push him out of bounds strategy. Works every time. Alright, I'm giving up on this double-double thing for a second. Oh no! Nostalgia goggles for 0. First shutout in NBA history, right here. You're watching it happen live from the past. Three. Woo. Thank you. That basket purchased for us by Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder, patron at the buy a bucket level. If you would also like to buy me a bucket, I certainly could use it. Ooh. All right. Take that. Damon, come on. Gotta drive that. Ugh. That was some solid defense there, Dale Ellis. There it is. All right. We got one assist. All right. Now we're making things happen. Get in there. Ugh. There it is. Nice. Closing that gap. Oh boy. Oh, Chris Webber. Oh, here you go. Foul shot. Oh, except I don't get to do it because I'm player locked. My email, the notification email? That's funny. Because I actually can't see it. One of the Windows updates things that I thought might have been a problem is normally on the left side of my screen there, I have like all the Go Live notification stuff, and it's just gone. It's just a gray box. I wasn't actually 100% sure I was even live before we hit the chat. Yeah, weird stuff. Weird stuff going on. There it is. All right. Finding our rhythm. Earning our way back. Nice. Stuff by Pinckney. Didn't pull it down though. It's making it interesting. That's right. I want to, don't want to just crush this crowd's spirits. They've been through enough. There it is. Someone mentioned something. Whoa. All right. Someone mentioned something earlier to me today about impeachment, and I was very concerned because unless I've messed up the timeline more than I think I have, Bill Clinton won't be impeached for another 3 years. I want you to know that I'm choosing to watch you instead of impeachment coverage. That's fine. Did you start typing that before I brought that up? Yeah, man, the impeachment won't happen for another 3 years. Oof. Suppose that was never going to work with him being 7 and all. Hence his jersey number 67. Rasheed Wallace came in. I forgot he was on this team. Another future All-Star. This was his rookie year with the Bullets. Come on, Simmons. Put one in. Thank you. Nice. Damon, king of the slow break. Seven turnovers. See what happens when I pass the ball, spits the great? Turn it over. All right. Gotta get good. Yeah. Okay. I am good. I'm leading the league in scoring twice. All right. Ugly, but it went in. All right. Mark Price. Why in the world would you take that angle to the basket? Oh, you know what? Whatever. Oh. Nope. All right. There it is. Nicely done. Cool. All right. I'm gonna see if I can get it at half court here. On first quarter. Thank you. Nope. Not gonna happen. Nope. All right. This is a 1-point game. Well, we clawed our way back up to 50% from the field after that showing. All right. Let's see how our progress is going. People getting tired, that's to be expected. All right. 4 rebounds total. 3 blocks, 12, 3 steals total. Ellis only has 5 assists. We are not particularly on pace. Stupendous Map. Hi, Stupendous Map. Thanks for joining. You just got here. We are down by 1 for a hard-fought first quarter. Attempting to get my entire starting lineup a double-double. Double digits in 2 categories. So far, not going so great. You know, game is young. Got to get Ellis some more assists here. Come on. Fade away. Nope. Hey, Trevor Ruffin. All right, maybe Ruffin will get the assist for that. Of course, he didn't start. But this is our first lead of the game. What? Hey, it's the 90s, man. The refs didn't call anything. It was not a foul because you didn't do that to Michael Jordan. If that had been done to Michael Jordan, would have been a foul. Ooh, that was pretty. Thank you for that bucket. Spits the Great. Patronate our Buy a Bucket tier. If you would also like to buy me a bucket, check out my Patreon. If you would not like to buy me a bucket, that's okay too. I thought for a second he was going to just run out of bounds again. No good. Hey. Oh man, it's getting nasty. Y'all see that? I mean, one of them ugly games. Oof. Or I could just throw it directly to them. Woo! Malice in the Palace. That's could happen. There it is. AC Euro. What a great name for a terrible event. Yeah. Somebody at Sports Illustrated maybe has a great oral history of that whole thing. Just a fascinating look at being blinded by anger. Like, it's incredible how many of the players just essentially blacked out while it was happening. Wild. Of course, this is a team that rebranded itself to get away from violence. I'm pretty sure they became the Wizards after, I think it was the DC Sniper, the early aughts. Get down there. Nice. Rogers. All right. Let's see if that's 10 assists for Ellis yet. Nine. One more. Didn't think it was a sniper, it's just the gun violence in general. I thought it was some specific event. I do think they might have been the Wizards before that happened, because I thought the sniper was 03? Maybe, and so it couldn't have been the DC sniper, because they were the Wizards before that happened. Oof. All right. Speaking of not entirely sure what happened, there's that. Yeah. All right. You know what? We were just taking the 3. I mean, assists are assists, but sometimes you just got to get it done. Right, Mark Price? That's right. Mark Price knows what's up. Oh, you just stand there and let Rasheed Wallace shove you, huh? Rasheed Wallace, at one time, was the league's career technical foul leader. I believe it's still true. Oh, bad pass. Who threw that anyway? Who's the blue star? Take him out. Send him down. So they call that, but they don't call Trevor Ruffin shoving a guy in the back and knocking him to the ground. These refs. You know what, though? They got a tough job. So. Especially in the 90s, everything was all pixelated, really hard to see. They need some goggles. How do they only have 2 team fouls? Oh, more than that. Oh, really? Really? Ugh. Not good. Take that, Ruffin. Or you could wait until they run out and cover you and make it anyway. 3. Watching a movie at my parents' house on demand, and it was straight up SD. It was awful. Oh, man. I'm sorry. My condolences. Although this is straight up SD. Correct. I don't know if I can no, I can't get it over there. Composite, all the way in. Composite to USB adapter. That's not an assist? You're not going to give that to me? Oof. I don't know, Spitz the Great. I don't know about this approach. How are you doing, Stupendous Matt? Waved, I haven't heard from you since. Cropped and picked play and grainy. It was like watching one of those FMV games from the Sega CD. Oof. That's no good. Nice hook. Carlos Rogers. Nice. There it is. Ellis. Putting a kid to bed. Oh, I know how that goes. Good luck. See you in 3 hours. Oof. I saw that, AC Earl. I saw you trying to shove Mark Price there. That's not very nice. Oof. Bad. Get a kick out of DVD copyright interpol warnings that look like 12th generation photocopies. Yeah. They definitely don't, oof. Credit where credit's due. They don't put the, A team for digital transfer, those warnings for sure. Rogers. All right. That had to be an assist. If that's not an assist, maybe I don't know what assists are. $10 points. 11 assists. All right. This guy's double-double. Sometimes even on Blu-ray. Yeah. I've seen some UHD ones that were definitely not UHD. All right. Thanks, Ruffin. Saved me a timeout. All right. So if nothing else, I've gotten one double-double. A bunch of really tired guys. But Murray out. This is the first time Tracy Murray. After 2 years of streaming, went back to Blu-ray, and streaming does look terrible. You're right. You don't notice it until you notice it, and then you can't unnotice it. Honestly, this is a weird thing to say. Maybe not, since I'm wearing nostalgia goggles, but I actually almost prefer DVD to streaming most of the time. It doesn't look as good, but at least either works or it doesn't. You don't have to worry about like the buffering in the middle or any other weirdness like that. There it is. Aren't they roughly the same quality? Well, it depends. So, oh, all right. That works. So now this is where the fun part gets, because now they're going to get assist by passing to me, if I can get them the ball and get it back to myself. Push him out. Ah, Chris Webber. Too good to fall for that trick. So like Apple's 1080p stuff is actually really high quality. or not 1080p, sorry, their 4K stuff is really high quality. Like, it almost looks like a Blu-ray when you've got a good internet. But that's definitely not a given. Ugh. Man. But it's not just about resolution. It's also about how compressed it is. And streaming tends to be, like, a lot of even 4K streaming is compressed. Like, the bit rate is so low, you might as well be watching something else. Man, Calbert Cheney is just destroying me. I am destroyed. Halftime, down 6. That hasn't happened in a while. Ellis's double-double. No match for Robert Pack, continuing the trend of point guards really running it up on us. 27% from 3. That's not going to do it. I am down. Too many turnovers. Ooh. How much time is permitted between halves? Huh. I'm going to say half an hour. Makes sense. Between halves. So, since it is halftime, I want to huge thanks to our patrons: Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist; Fitz the Great, Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They have all either selected their own titles or epithets, or I have selected for them. If you would like one as well, you check out my Patreon. And if you check out my Patreon, 10% of any proceeds go to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest, working on restoring vision. Good stuff. If you'd rather donate directly, there's a direct donation link in my profile as well. $15 minutes. That's your guess? All right, let's see where we're at with these guys. Everybody should be pretty well rested at this point. So the points are going to be a problem. You should never have gotten rid of the Laserdisc player. That stuff was awesome. You know what? A guy at work actually told me when he moved recently, and he said that there was a Laserdisc player that came with the house. And he has said that he has no interest in it and that I can have it, but he keeps forgetting to bring it in. So I'm looking forward to that. I will most definitely be sharing that with all of you. It's a very 1995 thing for me to have. Wait, that again, I was good. A guy I work with moved recently and has a Laserdisc player. He is not planning, he doesn't have any other plans for, and he had offered it. So, but he keeps forgetting to bring it into work. The thing about my old Laserdisc player is that like, it was just a time bomb. The capacitors are leaky in it, according to the internet, and then I would have just had a several $100 paperweight. The other thing is Laserdiscs are actually analog, like records. They're not digital. I don't know exactly. Wasn't T2 on Laserdisc awesome? Yeah, it was. T2 on anything is awesome. Too bad they never made any sequels. Three. Yes, Tracy Murray has just scored 9 points in the first 37 seconds. Got tired of losing. Laserdisc released a special. I mean, a special to me. I don't think there was anything particularly noteworthy about that one. At least not that I recall. Some of them were. The Lion King is one. It's the only home video release other than VHS that had the theatrical color timing to it. Lion King being, so I saw Stupendous Matthew referenced the Star Wars change for Disney Plus. My Star Wars in that regard is the Lion King. They keep changing it every time they release a new version, and it keeps getting worse every time. I actually still have the 2003 DVD of it. That's my copy of The Lion King. And I mean, I've imported Blu-rays from Japan. So if I had wanted a newer version, I definitely would have it. Whoa! Easy. The basket was over there. You missed your turn. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Nice. 3, no, 0. Why can't they just accept the artist's original vision? You know, that's another thing conceptually about streaming, too, is that, like, you do just end up with this never-ending array of tweaks. And, you know, whether they're positive or negative is kind of beside the point. Like, I'm sure that, you know, Da Vinci would have loved to go back and make some changes to the Mona Lisa. But at some point, you just got to let it go. And with streaming, the temptation is too great. It's so easy to make a tweak. Not to mention, like, the Orwellian potential there. Getting rid of stuff. I'm reminded of when, you know, spoiler alert, 1995, there was a terrorist attack coming. And they had... they airbrushed out the Twin Towers for a while in movies on TV, and I don't know, it just didn't feel right. It was like they were erasing them from history. I mean, obviously, you know, it was a horrible thing that happened, but I mean, those buildings were there. I'm not sure that taking them out really helped. Put that up, Miller. Put that up, Miller. There it is. Not sure what kind of layup that was, but you know what? It was the kind of layup that went into the hoop. It's the only kind of layup that matters. Oh, take that all the way. Ed Pinkney. Boom, shaka layup. We've always been at war with Disney Plus. Great point. I love Han Solo. Nice guy. There you go. Start him. You're not going to take it all the way in. At least take the 3. I don't know why we call the half trap. It never works. Should probably just take it out. Playbook. As you may have gathered, I've given up the double-double dream. We're too far out from it. Everybody except Murray is in the starting lineup, so got what? 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 2 assists. Like it's too late in the game. We won't make it. A valiant attempt, though, if I do say so myself. Fan of the dream. Sometimes you got to do it. But you know what? Let's do a new challenge. We'll throw in Benoit Benjamin. For those of you who have not been following along, he has been a plus-minus black hole. He has requested a trade. We've gotten a few offers from a few teams. Got a patron poll up on my Patreon to see which one we should accept. Too many streaming services now. You're going back to less conventional methods. Oh, an antenna? Antenna and Laserdisc player, that's what I recommend. Stupendous map. A double-double is, so, for example, Dale Ellis has a double-double right now because he has 10 points and 11 assists. So it's 2 statistical categories with double digits in each of them. Triple-double is generally considered to be like the benchmark in the real league, but because of the way that this game is set up, trying to get 10 steals or 10 blocks in 8-minute quarters is difficult, and 10 rebounds period is been insurmountable. I have no idea what this streaming thing is you're all talking about. Is that like cable? Oh, that's the Sega channel, right? Love the second channel. Especially at the beginning of a month. To stay up late, waiting for the games to change. It's like New Year's Eve every month. The stuff. Benjamin. Alright, score those points. Prove your trade value. Or earn your roster spot back. I don't know. That is up to my patrons. I'm just the player coach GM. Guy with the goggles. 3. Ellis found his shot. It's good. Couldn't have Tracy Murray showing him up. Benjamin almost got a steal. What is happening? It's such a bizarro game. Like Ed Pinckney being our best three-point shooter. We're on the double. Woo! Oh, no. There it is. Massenberg, take that in. Back him down. Back. No. Fine, I'll do it myself. Mark Price. Nicely done. Patience pays off. Three. Dreaming was supposed to make our lives easier. Lies. Now I need 10 subscriptions. Yeah. I mean, that was the, I think it was just the price that's the issue, right? I mean, I remember 15 years ago, they were... Nope, you're sitting, Jimmy King. You cannot commit an offensive foul before we inbound the ball and stay on the court. I don't make the rules, but I do make the rules. Sit down. How's everybody else doing? Gonna enjoy these beats while I decide what to do. It's not for you, Benjamin. Good job. Give you at least one game where you got a positive plus minus. Although since I've been doing these little experiments, I haven't been running the numbers because it seems like it would skew things. Like Dale Ellis was just making bad passes for most of the beginning of the game. Oh! And bricking layups. Wide open layups. Brick that. No, just me. Alright. So that shows you the value of the three-point shot. Before that basket, we had made the exact same number of shots this game. But I am up by 13. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. So, yeah, well, I was getting, they were talking about a la carte cable, but they were talking about like $1 a channel. And that would have been reasonable. But when you're talking about like, you know, $7, $8, $12 a channel. Oh, yeah, a la cartel. That's a Freudian autocorrect there. Oh, take that in. Oh, AC Earl. Gotta take those. Oh, tried to fake. I shot instead. Hit him. Come on, Ruffin. All right. Yeah, that reminds me of nonfiction essay I was reading, Ben Bova, I think. What was that? That was time for Dale Ellis to sit down. I don't care what the stamina says. I just did. That is why I'm in this menu, sir. I don't care if you are my star player. That is not acceptable behavior. Anyway, so I was reading an essay. It was from the 80s where he basically, I mean, not using these words, but he more or less described e-readers. His talk, even in terms of e-paper and whatnot, like it sounded like a Kindle when he was talking about it. But the part that didn't sound like a Kindle was when he said that books would only cost $1 a book because you get rid of all of the production costs, and then people could make the same or better profit margin and pass that savings on to customers. We all know how that turned out. We have ourselves to blame, though, right? We're paying for it. All right. Fitz a Great said 15 minutes between halves. My guess is half an hour. Stupendous map. Got anything? What are you really into these days? Audiobooks? Yeah, we do that a lot with the kids. I have a hard time, I admit, staying focused, probably because I usually listen to them when I'm driving. But yeah, I like the idea. Do you do like Audible or 15 minutes? Fitz the Great. You win today's Trivia Goggles Award. Cheers. As regards to Audible, I suppose I can't say anything bad about Amazon while I'm streaming on their platform. I'll leave it at that. Oh, you went for 1 minute. Solid guess. Stupendous map. 1 minute halftime would be great. Massenburg's got to stay in the game. So I know the preferred bucket purchase for our last bucket buyer is from Massenburg. So we'll see if we can get him to shoot. That's a great point. It's a bit expensive, but I figure the books I'm getting are pretty niche, and it can't be cheap to hire good voice work. It definitely isn't. That's something that has amazed me. Massenburg, I'm good. That's good. But just in terms of like the question, how cheap is too cheap? And I think the answer is a lot of what we have in our society is probably too cheap. It amazes me, stuff like Grubhub, whatnot. You can get food delivered to you from really far away for not very much money. And I just have to imagine that's hard on the delivery drivers, especially when the weather's rough. I remember a friend telling me once about getting an Instacart delivery during a snowstorm, and whew, that was pretty. Jimmy King, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, so it said that he had asked the Instacart driver how it was. Like, oh, the roads were awful. I almost went off the road twice just in the 2 miles to get here. And my friend was telling me later, so I didn't really know what to say about that. It's like, well, thanks for risking your life so I could have some bananas. But it's a weird thing. At the same time, Massenburg, I look at Instacart prices and I say, man, that's way too expensive. There's no way I'd pay for that. But considering what you're getting for it, it probably isn't expensive enough. There it is. Tony Massenburg with the jam. That bucket purchased for us by Tim Troy, humanitarian, philanthropist. Thank you, Mr. Troy. If you'd also like to buy me a bucket, I'm no longer in as dire need of them as I was earlier in the game, but every bucket counts. So check out my Patreon. If you are not interested in checking out my Patreon, just keep watching. I'm glad you're here. So foul. It's everybody's shit. On change. Get some beats. Go Rogers with this line. It's closer to the ideal one. One thing I do wonder is how much of my struggles earlier in the game were due to the strategy difference. Woo! How much of it were not letting Trevor Ruffin shoot those? How much of it was just using a suboptimal lineup? So the last game, 2 games? The last 2 games I've been using optimal lineups based on previous game performance. One big blob of players. There it is. And I sort of abandoned that this game in favor of getting people I thought would be more likely to get good assists. And we got stomped for a little bit. I would love to crack. It does seem like there's some stuff under the hood going on with like certain players play better together. Oh, here we go. So this is what free throws look like. So the ball is clear because I'm on the road and they're waving their arms. If I was at home, they wouldn't be doing that. I haven't quite gotten the timing down on this yet. There it is. I was wrong. I've got the timing down. Nice. I'm not sure why I get 3. That's probably... It's also brutal. Even if I get this other one centered, I don't think I'm making this. Oof. Gets his own rebound, puts it in. Dale Ellis. That was pretty. And people call soccer, football, depending on what region you're in, the beautiful game. I don't buy it. Basketball's the beautiful. Go Ellis. 4-3. Timeout. I think you're a little late on that timeout, Washington. And imagine if this team had Mark Price in his prime, Chris Webber in his prime, Rasheed Wallace in his prime. Would have been giving the Bulls a run for their money. Take that all the way in, Miller. No? Alright, I'll shoot it down. 3. Good thing I was on fire. Yeah. Fadeaways don't tend to work out so hot for me. Oh! Steal. No steal. Three. So you can see why, incidentally, the triple-double is hard with this. So we have 16 blocks on the game, and it's been like notable how frequently we block shots. Damon Stoudemire, in particular, is been an elite shot blocker for us for unknown reasons. Woo! Nice. And so one player would have to have had 10 of those 16 blocks to get into double figures. I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot to ask in real life. That's even a lot to ask in the video game, especially like if I was player locked on a center, it might be doable. But then where am I going to get the other? An assist? Speaking of, probably put Damon back in, give him a chance to catch up. So Damon Stoudemire, point guard. 5 feet 10 inches tall, was 4th in the league in blocked shots after last game. Only 1 behind David Robinson. It's just silly. He's only got 1 tonight, so I think we got to put him back in, let him finish. Hopefully he can get a couple more blocks. That was another goal I considered, actually, was trying to get Stoudemire to number 1 in the league. Player lock on him or something. Nope. Put that back in. There it is. I shouldn't have to tell you this. You should just know all of them. Nice. But it did take my block away. But I'll finish it one. There it is. Hey! I get the steal. 3. Nice. Oof. Nice. Put back. The short-range jumpers are just bad news. If you don't do a hook shot, it is not going in the basket. Get that out of there. Not in my house, even though we're in your house. Chris Webber, 80% from the field. Oh, crowd not happy about that one. Oh, no. All right. Best. No. That's not a good idea. I thought you were Stoudemire. You are, in fact, Lionel Simmons, and you should not be on the perimeter. Nice. Who says we can't do ball movement? Rogers. All the way in. Oh, do I have a bot now? No, that was me. There it is again. All human. They do have an auto moderator, which you ran into the other night for an innocuous comment. No bots. Need to get some more followers before they'll give me one of those. There it is again. Even 2 words. Dale Ellis, 52 of our points, 17 assists, solid double-double. Showing Tracy Murray how it's done. Our shooting percentage certainly recovered. Only barely got out rebounded. So this is actually a really good example here. So I only got 25 assists. Game did not feel as comfortable as the score suggests. No. Well, I mean, we got a lot of points in not a lot of time. I mean, I went on like a 15-0 run in the first minute, maybe like a 15-2 run first minute of the third quarter. So we had a couple of big runs, but yeah, it was first half was rough. Yeah, so on 129 points, they only credited us with 25 assists total. It's discouraging for my everybody get a double-double idea. but even for anybody getting a triple-double. So in this game, you know, one player would have had to get half of our rebounds or half of our blocks or half of our steals. I mean, half of our assists seems doable, but those other things, I don't know. It doesn't seem controlled enough, especially on the steals, like, because you don't want to foul out either. They're only allowed 6 of those. Now, if we're talking 10 turnovers, then I think Dale Ellis might actually have gotten it. So yeah, Dale Ellis 52 points. Murray had another 23. Nobody else in double figures. Field goal percentage. Ruffin, 100%. Field. Good for him. Was he 1 for 1, Ruffin? I forgot already. 2 for 2. Dang. Free throw shooting. Getting there. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. As usual, not a lot of offensive rebounds. I don't know, maybe it's just an ego boost or something, but I always feel good when I'm leading the team in a statistical category. I feel like I'm pulling my weight. Sometimes I feel like my zone defense isn't helping as much as it could be. What did Pinckney have for points? Eight. Another pretty decent game. I think that is above what his season average was before last. 6 steals for Ellis. So he actually did. That might be the closest we've come to anybody getting a triple-double so far. His average is 14. No, that's not right. He had like 56 points in 8 games. No, that's yesterday. He got 16. His average is like maybe 7, like whatever that works out to be. We can figure it out once we review Washington stats. Yeah. So again, their point guards just combined for 48 points against us. We need to figure out a way to stop the point guards. Wonder if the AI is just bad at passing. Made it. I don't think they had. Oh yeah, they did. But L equals. No blocks from Urasan and 4 blocks for Kelvin Cheney. I think those might have been consecutive on me. Okay, let's go back. So Pinckney had 8 tonight. He had 16 last night, so that's 24. Wrong button. And for this season, he's got 68 total. So it was actually worse than that. He had 44 in the first 7 games. .6 whatever. So bringing up his average for sure. Anyway, look at the shot chart. Looks a little more futuristic. See, look at that. All of our 2-point shots outside of the paint missed. There you go. I didn't come from the future to take long 2s. Low expectation. Simmons pretty cold. I think I noticed that during the game too. Ellis shooting 63% from the field after a really cold start. It's not bad. Ruffin only took the 2 threes. Is there? Massenberg only 1 basket, but what a basket, right? Sometimes it's quality over quantity. Benjamin, 100% from the field. Actually did okay. So rest of the AI shot better than I did. even though they were a lot of those bricks. A lot of those made shots, too. There you go. We will save this season. Looking at the standings, we are still on top of the Central Division, 10-0. Ahead of Chicago. Utah still on lost. Golden State still undefeated. It's a lot like this year's past year's finals. So Murray and Ellis tightening the gap, both on top of the league. Field goal percentage. Hey, Carlos Rogers has passed Chris Gatling. We are now leading the league in field goal percentage for the first time this season. Gatling actually had missed a shot for the first several games. Ellis is on the leaderboard, but having taken a whole lot more shots than any 4 other players. Pretty good. Ed Pinkney, we're now on the free throw leaderboard, although I can't take credit for that. Murray and Ellis, both up there for 3 points. I was hoping Ed Pinkney would be on there, but there might be a minimum of 5 or something. Rebounds not on there, no surprise. Stoudemire still holding on to 4th place, though Shaq has moved up tied with him. Still doable. Of course, steals, we are all over this leaderboard. Oh, Murray and Ellis both up the leaderboard now. My 2 players. Assists, nope. So that's where we are at the moment. So as you can see, there tomorrow we will be taking on the Seattle Supersonics, continuing our team names that don't exist anymore. So that will be, did I say tomorrow? If I said tomorrow, I meant Monday. I definitely need some more time to get my streaming set up a little bit more reliable, because that was touch and go tonight. It started working at 8:58. Anyway, we will get that sorted, and we will play the Sonics on Monday, 9 p.m., and then travel to Milwaukee for Tuesday, Game 12 against the Bucks. That's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an excellent evening. That's Venice Map. I hope you got that child to bed. And we'll see you next week.